Hi and welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to do my part 3 of setting up a brand new CIC. So this is my third video about Kreador CIC, which is mine and my partner's CIC, which I help manage. So I've been documenting how our journey's been going, been telling you kind of what I've been working on, as to give you a guide of what it's like to run a CIC and how to start a new one and make it successful. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how we're just about to do our end of year taxes. I'm going to be talking about the projects we've got ongoing, and I'm going to tell you about our new ideas for the year 2 of Kreador CIC. So before I get into that, please hit the subscribe on this channel for everything to do with CICs. If you're interested in setting up a CIC, go over to my website. I've got an online course on there, and I've got a brand new app. Yes, I've got an app so you can access my course and my membership, which has got loads of masterclasses in it and loads of community features like events and stuff. And you can get that now. That is in the App Store. Now, that aside, let's get into it. So, Kreador CIC is now 1 year old. Now, we didn't do much with it for like the first 6 months. So I kind of feel like it's more like 6 months old, really. So we started it. My partner is still working, so he has very limited time to work on it. I've been helping him set it up and get it going. And soon he's going to be giving up his job and working with Kreador full time. So very exciting times for us. We love Kreador and the whole concept of it. So Kreador is a Cornish word for creator. Partner's an artist, so we're both artists, both into arts, Cornish heritage. And also we've got a theme running through it, which is to help men's mental health. Now, this was a cause that was really important to my partner, who has lost friends to suicide. Unfortunately, this area has a very high rate of male suicide. So suicide and substance misuse and self-harm is something that Kreador CIC is going to sort of as a mission statement help. And we aim to do this through creative workshops, creative activities, and just stuff about Cornish heritage and all of that. So what's the update? So since I last did the video, we've achieved a few little milestones. So I finally have done the website. So the website is all done, www.kreador.co.uk, so you can go over and have a look. So that's all done. Now, I haven't got around yet to doing the official photo shoot, so I actually just used some stock images just to fill it up for now. But I'm about to do a photo shoot, which, as I said in previous videos, really recommend you do some professional shots so that you get those onto your website. But I just needed to just get it done. So for now, I've just used some stock images, and it's looking really good. I'm really happy with it. It's going to host an online course. We're also going to do a Kreador app. And we're going to have lots of different other features on that. I do think websites, the reason why I'm going towards apps is websites are great, and of course they're important, but you know, everything is so app focused now. So I'm really thinking about ways to develop the website into an app. Now, the great thing about Wix, which is where I built our website, is that you can have a branded app. So with a Wix website, you can get a free app, which is on Spaces. So your customers and your community, they can download Spaces and they can see a version of your website, which is in like an app on their phone. Now, that's great, but I think it's really nice if you can do the branded version. So we're going to try to get that up and running in the next few months. So we'll have a Kreador app. And the kind of things that I would like on our Kreador app are going to be like events, so that our community, when we're engaging with them, can just go on there. They can just check out when the events are. They can RSVP really easily. Everything's just at their fingertips. They can also watch our course videos on there. And it's got a really good feature where you almost have like your own social media channel. So when you've got a community that you're serving, instead of like having like a Facebook group, which can be kind of limited because a lot of people don't use Facebook now. So a lot of people have come off Facebook. So if you're in that demographic, like great, you can have a successful Facebook group. But if you need to tap into a demographic that doesn't use Facebook, like for instance, young people, then this is a great alternative. So on the app, it's called Groups on the Wix app. And you set up your own group, and people can like make their own profiles, have their own little profile page. You can follow each other, you can talk to each other, or you have like the main news feed where everybody in the group's posts go into the main feed. So it is literally like your own social media channel. So that's really exciting. I mean, you can see that over on my Kex CIC Tribe app if you want to have a look at an app already before I've done the Kreador one, then have a look at that one. And so yes, so that's the plan. So website's done, hopefully do the app soon, hopefully do the photo shoot soon. Now, aside from that boring task, got to do the CIC accounts. So I've just done my web filing. So because I'm a year old now, we need to do our statement, submit our statement into web filing. So web filing is your community interest companies, like company profile on Companies House. So you go on there and you submit your, it's like £12 to do your end of year statement, and it just confirms like your address and who the directors are and stuff. Just a little admin task. You must do it, otherwise you get a fine. So we actually got a letter through the post saying that we'd missed ours, that it was overdue, but they don't fine you straight away. So if they'll send you an overdue letter and you're like, oh God, right, got to do that, and then you go and do it. So it's good if you make sure you sign up to get your letters so that you get those alerts. And then aside from the web filing, now we've got to do our taxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print off all the statements. We haven't had loads of money in because, as I said, we've kind of started on a slow footing, but we did get Heritage Lottery funding, so that's £10,000. Now, one thing that I should mention with that is because our Heritage project is actually going to carry over into this next year, so it's going to carry over from one financial year to the next. And so we've got that money is budgeted and set aside for costs that are going to be in year 2. Now, we don't want that judged as corporation tax. So I'm going to make sure I mention to my accountant when I give them my taxes, do not count this for corporation tax. This is to be designated. Now, you can do that if you've got a good CIC accountant that knows what they're doing. Some get this wrong, and then you'll get a corporation tax bill which you can't pay because you're not allowed to pay it out of your grant funding. You'll get in huge trouble if you were to do that. So make sure your grant funding doesn't get subject to corporation tax, because it shouldn't. So I'm going to let the accountant know that our 10,000 from the Heritage needs to be allocated to next year. And other than that, it should be fairly simple. We've not got a lot of income and outgoing stuff going on, so I don't envisage it costing more than a couple of £100 to do our accounts this year. But I'm going to task them with another thing. Is I want them to do like our basically a budget prediction for next year, because I need it for the UN LTD application. So we're doing a UN LTD application, and because we're a year old, you actually need to give like a budget forecast. So you do like your first year what you did, and then what your forecast is for the next like couple of years. So I'm gonna, because I can't be bothered to do it because I don't really like spreadsheets and stuff, so I'm just going to pay my accountant a little bit extra to do that when they do our accounts. So I'm going to give them the details of what I think we'll be earning next year, and then let her do all of that on a spreadsheet, and then she'll give those back to us, and then I can add them to our UN LTD's application. So I've already written the application. Just to say, I used ChatGPT for that. I typed in like what I wanted to do, and just gave it quite a few good prompts, and that got me through some of those big boxes on the application. I found the application quite repetitive. It goes on a lot about impact, and it like almost asks the same question a few times. But I do know that from the group that everybody is getting turned down, that everybody who is turned down, often it's about impact. They haven't highlighted enough their impact. So I've really tried to hit that home hard. If you're wondering what the project that I want to do is, it is to do with mental health. It's to do with doing creative workshops. I want to do a men's shed project. Men's sheds are something that around the world now, they're really popular, and they're really good creative spaces to help men, especially in older years, combat like loneliness. But they could also engage ex-offenders, they could engage people with mental health issues, all sorts of people. And I want to run a men's shed with a bit of a difference, because although my partner will run it as a men's shed, I want to do a little bit of a female, technically it's a men's shed, but basically a little woman's shed as well. So we can do some classes in woodwork and sort of those kinds of skills which are traditionally male. It'd be nice to sort of open that up to girls and women. So I'm hoping to do that as well. So those are our plans for next year. So we're talking about the app, online course, We're talking about doing the men's shed projects, obviously helping mental health issues, and diversifying those sorts of traditional trades and activities by bringing in some girls groups as well. So that's the plan. Now, the other thing I've got up my sleeve is to bring in Kreador some extra income that isn't grant funded, because I really want, especially if my partner's leaving work, to have really secure income. I don't want to just be reliant on grant funding. It's lovely, you know, we've got an Arts Council application in at the moment. We've just had the Heritage. Of course, I'm sure grant funding will continue to come in, but I don't want to be reliant on it. And, you know, we really want to make sure that, you know, we build this up to be successful and sustainable long term. So our idea is that we're going to be support workers for the Arts Council and help. I'm already doing that already, and my partner's going to do it as well. So the Arts Council actually pay to, if you're a support worker, for you to help people write their application forms, if they've got neurodiversity, if they've got mental health issues, etc. So what my partner's going to do, I'm going to train him up to do that. And then with the people that are coming through the project, a lot of them might want to do Arts Council applications. So then myself and my partner can help them go through that process, help break down those barriers that they've got with completing that application form. And then that will bring in extra income into the CIC, because the Arts Council will pay me and my partner to write those and help those people write their application forms. So that's one way we think is a good way to sort of get us in some extra income. It fits in with our aims and our missions, because it's all about helping people overcome barriers like mental health and helping them gain creative, skilled careers and hobbies. So it fits in with our aims. It'll bring in some extra cash. And, you know, that's something that maybe you could think about doing. What is your expertise that you've got? Could you sell that? So it could be that if you're running a really great, for instance, I know someone does a really great creative nature project. They've just done an online course. They're trying to help people with their applications and start creative nature projects as well. So say you're running a project, you know, could you maybe help another CIC in another part of the country, do a mental health project or a women's project or whatever it is that you're specialising in, a job club. Maybe it's a unique type of job club. Because if you've got a great idea, isn't it great to be able to spread that around the UK? And don't think of it as competition, because I think that actually you can grow a space together that actually strengthens it and brings in more money, because you've grown that whole concept and that idea. So think about that. And yeah, so that's it really. That's our part 3 of our update with Kreador. So hopefully by the time I do my next video 4, I'm hoping I should get some news from the Arts Council, which we're waiting on for a project. Hoping we'll be a bit further on in our heritage project that we're still working on, exhibitions next April. You know, maybe by then my partner would have been able to have given up his job. So we'll see how we go and how we grow. And I'll see you next time.